What I want to take away from it is understanding, because I know when I grew up, like I don't want to say we didn't struggle, because there's times where we did struggle, but we never like struggle. We were like we were on our last limb, and like I never got that experience. I want to take that away from other people and see like what other people went through to try to use that, because if I want to go to politics, I can't just base it off of me. I have to base it off of everybody.
I just want solutions. So I want to talk to these adults and people who are like basically our leaders right now, and like solutions. So I want them to hear us and also come up with solutions where we can fix it.
You guys, Brand? Okay. What I want to take away from it is change. I want things to actually change instead of us doing it. Like, this is a good conversation we're all having, and these are great perspectives a lot of you guys have. But if nothing changes out of this, then it's basically us talking in a mirror.
Right.
So instead of talking in a mirror, let's go talk outside and get everyone to start hearing it, instead of just the people who already know things like this.
Well, I'm not really sure what I want to take away from this, but I have a suggestion for everyone who's, planning to go back to school or work tomorrow. If you hear something that's obviously stupid, just some uninformed, ignorant person saying instead of, going up to them and, just start bombarding them with why they're wrong, ask them, why do you think that? What caused you to say that thing? And then hopefully that'll get them thinking, and then maybe they'll start asking everyone else, and then that's, where the exponential growth comes in and everything. And also, I know we're here to create an understanding between the youth and the adults, but I know that there's a lot of young people in here that see the problems with the youth, right? So make sure you're not only creating an understanding between you and the adults in your life, make sure you're creating an understanding between you and the other kids at your school or job, you know what I mean? Always ask why.
I'm sorry I haven't been talking a lot today. I have a really bad headache. But believe it or not, I've already taken in so much just from you guys. You guys are smart and insightful and self-aware, and it's amazing. So I'm glad I haven't talked a lot, because if I did, I would have talked a lot. So not just from being in here in this room with you guys, I'm ready to take this out and tell everybody else what we know as a team, as a family, and I want to make this work, because I feel it working.
You ever heard somebody try to explain something and they never actually answered the question, but it sounded real nice?
The words are flowing.
That's called a career in politics.
I want to walk away feeling educated, but also knowing that I educated someone in that room. Being able to get my point of view across, being able to understand, help other people understand that not everything is pretty. There's some ugly under everything, and that we need to, instead of scooting it aside, we need to face it.
Excellent. Mr. Nah. I would like to walk away knowing that I let somebody know what is happening, that we all did let somebody know what is happening from a youth perspective, and not just a grown-up seeing youth have these fights, and that was it all ignorant.
Excellent.
Tail?
See, I had time to think too.
Yeah, you did.
I just want to see if the adults are willing to listen, because I mean, this event it's not only for us, but it's really for us to let them know what's going on. So I really want to know how much are they willing to listen, and at the end of the day, was it worth it? Was all this planning, all this meeting, was it really worth it? And are the adults willing to listen? Because if they're not, then we're really gonna have to lead by example and stop talking at that point. So that's all I'm really
Well, I would say to prove them wrong and show them that we're more what's on the outside of what's on the inside in our minds and how we think and how we see things. And I want to show how all the feelings, how we feel, how they feel, we can put that together and come up with a solution. Because I love how we all come together as youth and show our different feelings and our background, because that helps us in the future as our future generation, and also show the past generation that's leading us right now how we feel and how we're going to lead this world in the future.
Y'all leading right now.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, me going back on what he said about talking to the youth, I know that in the eyes of adults, I'm not always a leader. Sometimes I might do some stuff that, you know, isn't really seen as befitting of a 15-year-old. But I also know that when it comes to people my age, I'm actually listened to. So I want to show my peers that this is how you actually talk to an adult. This is how you explain to adults what your problems are and actually get them to listen. I have listened to everybody's perspective, and I've known him for years. I've known him for years. I've known plenty of people in here for a long time, and I know that all of you are great speakers. All of you can actually convince people that these are the changes needed. And so I want to walk away with the feeling of accomplishment that we have actually shown not only the adults but the youth that this is how you actually solve a problem. You don't just go in and say your opinion and everybody else's opinion is wrong. You go into the situation and you listen. You don't do all the talking, you listen. And after you listen, that is when you respond with your opinion and try to compromise instead of just saying, oh, this is my opinion, you're wrong.
Thank you, Ashley.
One thing that I want to, bring to the light, based off of the video that I saw today of a CIA undercover operative, they said that the best way to disarm an enemy is to listen. Listen to what they say, listen to what they mean by what they say, understand where they're coming from. Because people can talk and just be like, oh, I get it, but nobody go in depth with it, nobody explain it. So I want this to be an opportunity for us to be able to be heard, and for the others who, go against us to be heard as well. Because if we just talk and say, hey, think based off of this, they're gonna think based off of us. But if I say, hey, think about this, you use your knowledge plus what we've given you, this gives somebody an opportunity to be able to visualize everything, bring everything together instead of one side or the other. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be able to bring unity upon any opposing force, I guess, whether it's adults or the racist white people, the racist black people, the system, whatever, just bring one person or one group of people's perspective to light.
Thank you, sir. AJ? What do you want to take away from this event?
So what I want to take away from this is all the hatred to black people around. I go to Ben Davis and everybody, there's a couple white people there, and they're always hanging around the black people, and they always say, why are you, the black people say, oh, why are the white people around? But the white people have nowhere to go sometimes. They just come to black people for help. And I don't know. Really, yeah.
Thank you, AJ. Trey?
What was the question? I just need to. When I come to an event, I just want to leave with something I didn't know before I came here. I learned a lot of stuff from the day. Just today, it's been one of the best ones I went to. So yeah, like I said, just come in here and learn something I didn't have when I came here.
Thank you. Shane?
So I spent all my time talking, so I'm really just excited to hear you guys be able to talk and be listened to, especially as young black and brown kids, because a lot of y'all don't get heard at all. like you get talked over. So I really want to come away from this, like hearing the other lived experiences of other Black and brown kids.
Last but not least, Ms. Cora.
I want to leave with a sense of like comfort and relief, knowing that I was able to like serve as a voice for kids, for other young people who teachers and parents and just adults in life are telling them to sit down and shut up.
My soul is quenched. So it